Welcome to Leeation. Number 1. Flying taxis major update. A number of companies, including major automakers, are working on zero emission, low noise flying taxis capable of vertical takeoff and landing as a solution for getting across the world's major cities quickly. It means future cities may be dotted with dedicated sites where battery electric flying taxis can dock, pick up passengers, and recharge, much like heliport for helicopters, but smaller since there won't need to be any fuel stored. Hyundai Motor Group is among the automakers developing a flying taxi. In fact, it even established an urban air mobility division headed by a NASA veteran back in 2019 and predicts that it will have a commercial service for flying taxis in operation by 2028. On Thursday, it said it has teamed up with a company in the United Kingdom by the name of Urban Airport to develop the infrastructure required for flying taxis. Part of the partnership will be the development of the Air One Urban Airport, which is said to be built in Coventry, UK later this year. Air One is a unique project that is set to help lead the way in developing a robust, accessible, and intermodal infrastructure network for future mobility. Pamela Cohon, Chief Operating Officer of Hyundai Motor Group's Urban Air Mobility Division, said in a statement, Hyundai Motor Group previewed an electric flying taxi concept in early 2020. The automaker said the flying taxi was designed to take off and land at dedicated hubs which passengers could reach either by existing transport networks or a self-driving shuttle. Cities are expected to grow in coming years, coinciding with the growth in the number of jobs that are digital based. This will only add to congestion, which is some of the world's largest cities is already severe. Both governments and private companies see small electric flying taxis as a potential solution. Since they are much quieter than helicopters, they could potentially be used to fly more routes across cities without upsetting residents under the flight path. Hyundai Motor Group is the only automaker working on the technology. Others include Daimler, Geely, Porsche, and Toyota. Number 2. UK Civil Aviation Authority clears Boeing 737 MAX for return to service. The UK Civil Aviation Authority has announced that it will allow UK airlines to operate passenger flights with the Boeing 737 MAX aircraft, subject to close oversight. The ban on the aircraft operating in UK airspace will also be removed. The changes come into effect today. It follows similar decisions by the European Union Aviation Safety Agency, US Federal Aviation Administration, and Transport Canada. The decision follows the approval of design modifications to the aircraft itself, how it is flown, and to pilot training. This has included modification to the aircraft's maneuvering characteristics augmentation system, or MCAS in shortly, and other key safety changes aimed at preventing further accidents. The Civil Aviation Authority has been closely involved in the approval work and the extensive process undertaken by all involved. The CAA is in close contact with TUI, currently the only UK operator of the aircraft, as it returns its aircraft to service. As part of this, we will have full oversight of the airline's plans, including its pilot training programs and implementation of the required aircraft modifications. The removal of airspace ban will allow foreign operators to fly the Boeing 737 MAX in UK airspace. All airlines, however, will need to go through the necessary steps to return the aircraft to service, including pilot training. So this may result in flights of the type into the UK not being seen immediately. The aircraft was grounded following two tragic accidents: Lion Air Flight 610 on October 29, 2018 and Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 on March 10, 2019. The UK was one of the first countries to act, preventing the aircraft from using its airspace. Richard Moriarty, Chief Executive at the UK Civil Aviation Authority, said, "Our thoughts remain with those affected by the tragic accidents of the Boeing 737 MAX. This is not a decision we have taken lightly, and we would not have allowed a return to service for UK operators or lifted the ban on the aircraft operating in UK airspace unless we were satisfied that the aircraft type is airworthy and can be operated safely." The international work to return the Boeing 737 MAX to the skies has been the most extensive project of this kind ever undertaken in civil aviation and shows how important the cooperation between states and regulators is to maintaining safety. The CAA has based its decision to allow a return to service on detailed information from EASA, the Federal Aviation Administration, and Boeing. In addition to extensive engagement with airline operators and pilot representative organizations, the CAA worked alongside EASA as a technical agent, reviewing its work as the validating authority. During this process, the UK has been fully cited on the technical assurance activity conducted by EASA. Additionally, the UK participated in pilot training forums and simulator evaluations. TUI has 737 MAX aircraft on the UK register. The main modifications to the aircraft that allow a safe return to service are flight control computer software changes so that both of the aircraft's angle of attack sensor inputs are used by the aircraft system rather than previously one. Safeguarding against MCAS activating unnecessarily due to a failed or erroneous AOA sensor, removing of the MCAS repeat command, revisited limits on the MCAS command authority, revisions to flight crew procedures and training requirements, implementation of an AOA disagree alert indication that would appear on the pilot's primary flight displays, cross FCC trim monitoring to detect and shut down erroneous pitch trim commands. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration is responsible for the initial type certification approval of the Boeing 737 MAX as it designed in the USA, and it is the European Union Aviation Safety Agency that validates this certificate across the EU.